is not final. It is subject to public opinion. And thus, we the people shall stand guided by our constitution. So they may converge, they may have a super majority. There is a possibility because, I mean, if they decide to go to bed together, there is nothing else to do for the party members. Because that's the other side, you know, that's the other flip side, that those who belong to these political parties, the members, in millions, have no say on how the leadership decides to execute in terms of alliance and forging collaboration with either side, either government or the opposition. Because there has not been a consultative process in either UDA or ODM or Jubilee or Wiper, in a manner of speaking. Much as they'll talk about their meetings that they held. But what about the members of those parties? They have no say. So, and those are the Kenyans you're talking about, because you're the ones who are affected by any major structural parliamentary process that happens. Thus, having said that, the parliamentary process is not final. Let there be a supermajority if that's what they want. In the words of John Mbadi, and you know, time is very unforgiving. He said, let's give the president his skunk to do with it as he wishes. It's only a matter of time. Now, I want to quote John Mbadi and say, let's give John Mbadi and company, the skunk, in 6 months, we're in August. We'll be here, God willing. February, it will be chaotic. Because ODM had its own, it's largely ODM, it's not the Azimio whole fraternity. Because we've seen Jubilee go to a different side, we've seen Madhakarua go to a different side, Kalonzo to a different side. ODM had their own manifesto, they had their own agenda that they wanted to execute. Is it to say that now the professionals, as BAMBA called them, are being incorporated in government? Are they going to enforce some of the policies that they had? Are we to start expecting the 3,000 allowance per month that was largely proposed from the ODM Azimio side? So what does this mean in terms of operational processes? Does it mean that now Mbadi and Oparanya will wake up upon confirmation and Joho and forget everything they were opposing from this government and now become these faithful believers, you know, on the bottom-up economic transformation agenda, and then try to help the president achieve? So we have to now be very serious and realize it is not a mere position that we are handing over to an individual. There is what we call institutional responsibility. We've seen in other countries, I think I saw a few, is it last week? In Japan, in Peru, there were some oil spills. And the ministers in charge, they resigned. Because you have to assume institutional responsibility. It's a professional responsibility. You don't have to be the one who committed the act. But if the act was within your scope of operation, you distance yourself from that, either to allow for investigation to take processes, or you just agree we were not effective, let another person come in and serve. That is not something I have faith in achieving from all these cabinet secretaries, the parliamentarian process, and the merging of the opposition with the government. We saw, sadly, the former CS, Alice Wahome, saying this is the first time she's jobless. That's why she won this job. A whole, or I think 65-year-old. And the president the other day said, if you resign, I mean, if you hit your resignation age, civil servant 60, done, go home. Why are we recycling? You see, so it does not exude confidence. And that's what I'm saying, that we must agree. It's not just about the individuals. It's about the image of our country. It's the image of the administration. It's about the public policy. How much are Kenyans to expect from these processes when we no longer have an opposition that is supposed to be doing checks and balances of the government? Surely, why would you claim you are the leader of opposition? Why would you say you're standing with the people and that this is what is good for the country? The president must remember today, he must recall that the Gen Z revolution had nothing to do with the leader of opposition. Raila Odinga did not instigate the Gen Z revolution. He did not bring people to the streets. He did not call for the finance bill to fall. We did as Kenyans. And it happened. So whatever coalition they may form now, either in anticipation of 2027 or just to salvage themselves between now until 2027, will not hold if we, the people, do not agree with it.
But even as you say that, we can see that even the agitation that had been